So judges, it's that time of year again when hundreds and hundreds of companies send you thousands and thousands of pieces of information about their business. Now Julie, Blaze, Jason, Sandra, Paul and Regis Removals, who are sponsoring the Business Personality Award, and Osborne, who are sponsoring the Customer Service Award. Again, last year we did a video and I wanted to stand out from the crowd. But we've done something a little bit different. I wanted to grab your attention in terms of what we've offered our clients in 2017. More importantly, I wanted to spend some time about what I've done as a business owner, as a director, and as a human being. Now, 2017 saw some significant changes in my business, Cathedral Wealth Management. We acquired a business from another IFA practice. We've doubled our client bank, and we still hold 100% client satisfaction record. Now, what does that mean for our clients? It means 254 of our clients trust us with millions and millions of pounds of their money. But do they trust us purely on performance? Do they trust us purely on charges? No, they trust us because we give them bespoke advice. The advice that we give them is tailored. So when they come and speak to me, I know the names of their grandchildren, I know the names of their children, I know their aspirations, I know their objectives through life. I also know how to get them to these objectives. So customer service to me is actually different to what you would imagine customer service is. I believe in client servicing. Now, customer service is probably where a customer will walk into a business or walk into a shop and they'll buy a product or even a service. And you may or may not see that customer again. To me, we have clients, and a client is somebody that will come back to you time and time again for all of their needs, whether it be financial or personal or objective. I also believe that our clients are advocates of our business. So in this video, you will see testimonials of some of our clients and what it is they feel we bring to them. There's also a lot of information about what I've done in 2017 as a human being. So 2017, I undertook a challenge which my doctor, my wife, my father, and 254 clients said that I wouldn't achieve. I'm nearly 20 stone. I do smoke and I probably drink too much as well. But I felt that I wanted to push myself to the point where I could know who I am as a person, to know where my boundaries are. Now, part of the Business Personality Award is to go the extra mile, is to push yourself and achieve things and not allow second best. Well, I'm pleased to say that in a year's worth of training, I lost 2 stone. I drank less than what I did, and I undertook the Limoshu Kilimanjaro route in Tanzania. Now, I'll tell you a little bit about the Limoshu route. It's the longest route you can take up Kilimanjaro. It takes 9 days to complete from top to bottom. You're subjected to 50% levels of oxygen. You're subjected to unimaginable pain that your body has to go through, mental pain that says that you won't make it. Now imagine being in a scenario with, in my case, 30 other people, 4,000 meters up in a mountain, with little in the way of medical assistance, little in the way of help, and being a third world country, should something go wrong, it's very difficult to get to hospitals very quickly. Now, I promised my wife one thing. I promised that by undertaking this challenge, I wouldn't do anything stupid. The good news is I raised nearly £7,000 for charity, and my sister company also trebled what I raised. And that money went to a lot of children's hospitals, to hospices, to cancer research centres, all around the South Coast. My Kilimanjaro trip unfortunately finished early. On day 2, I was 2/3 of the way up, so 4,000 metres up, still at about 60% oxygen, and I had a little fall. Now, judges, you won't know this, I'm actually partially sighted, and since birth I've been diagnosed with an eye condition called retinitis pigmentosa, which basically means I can't see. I can imagine that you'll probably do this, but my vision is something along these lines, so I have no peripheral vision. And of course at night time you can't see. So to undertake this trip was very difficult, but as I mentioned, I had a fall. On day 2, I fell about 4 foot off a cliff edge and I twisted my knee. And the doctor said to me I had 2 choices. I could carry on and I wouldn't make it, or I could be extracted. Now, I chose to carry on for another 11 hours till I got to the next base camp. and was advised medically that I wouldn't be able to go any further. So unfortunately my Kilimanjaro trip finished 2/3 of the way up, and there's a video of the friends of Kilimanjaro waving me off and dancing and singing. But I didn't stop there. I didn't think that my trip in Tanzania should finish. So what I went to is the Musa Maria Street Children's Centre, where Tanzanian officials would collect children that they found on the streets, and they would take them to this centre and they would educate them and offer them help. Now these children were aged between about 6 and 16, and a lot of them had mental issues. Incredibly, the stories, which I won't relay to you today, but some of the stories were very heartbreaking. And I remember taking lots of supplies, pencils, papers, rubbers, even games of Scrabble to the Musa Maria Street Centre. And part of the game that we played was a game of Scrabble. Now, trying to teach 9-year-olds in Africa how to play Scrabble is very difficult. But they got the idea of the Scrabble pieces and they started to write their names. And one of the African children wrote Mary. And I said, "What's that?" She said, "Mary, that's my mother." So I corrected the name, and she then told me a story that her mother had died. Now, being the softie that I am, I guess, the director of the Musa Maria orphanage took me to where the children were sleeping, and the roof had collapsed. And I thought, irrespective of the fact that I didn't complete Kilimanjaro, I raised enough money for them. I wanted to go the extra mile, and I wanted to help these children. In 2017, I helped set up the Bognor Regis Junior Park Run. And this enabled children from the Chichester and Bognor Regis to run every Sunday with their parents and their friends and their family. It's important to me to give back to the local community. And for a very small investment, or a very small grant, it allowed these children to run every Sunday. Now, we all know that we're living in an age of obesity, and I think to give these children time on a Sunday to run with their family is obviously very good. To me, giving back to the community is very important. So something a little bit more business related. In 2017, I created the Entrepreneurs Club, which allowed like-minded individuals to get together and understand each other's businesses. Now, this is not a networking event. A networking event which allows people to get together and sell a product. And instead, this allows businesses to get together and educate each other about hot topics. Now, I find knowledge is very powerful. So if you know more about what another business does, you're more likely to give introductions. And we're already seeing fantastic results within this Entrepreneurs Club. It also allows businesses to have one-stop shop advice. So rather than having to hunt around or ask for recommendations, it's that client servicing. It's allowing these businesses to get together and have the opportunity to speak to other businesses. So I've talked a little bit about client servicing versus customer servicing. And something that we do for our clients is an annual client meeting at Croucher's Hotel and Restaurant in Chichester. Now, once a year, our clients will come to an event where we put on a very lavish dinner. We invite them to bring friends and family, and we have a hot topic. Now, generally the hot topic will be about the investment markets, the economic changes that they're experiencing, and that word that we're all very familiar with Brexit. And our clients trust me. They trust what we do in terms of giving them advice. But what does it look like from an investment point of view? Well, our Crouchers events allow our clients to ask questions to investment managers, as well as understand a little bit more about what's expected. Now, obviously, having this opportunity with clients allows them to bring friends and family. And this is my marketing strategy. We're servicing our clients to an enhanced level. We have a 100% client satisfaction record. We give them events where they can talk to other experts and they bring friends. And this is where our clients become advocates of our business. In 2017, I was approached by an ex-Paralympic athlete, a guy called Paul Spanner, who is raising money to take disabled children up in aeroplanes. And Paul and I had a very good conversation, and it was more to do with how we could help. And part of my commitment to our clients is not only helping them from a servicing perspective, but also to be involved in some of their charity commitments. And I'm delighted to say that in 2017, I secured £10,000 for the Airability Centre, which allowed 15 children to go up and take flying lessons. Now, I really want to drive this with my staff, I want to drive this with my family, and I want others to be inspired by what I do. And interestingly enough, Airability have come back and said that that exposure has allowed others to grant money, to look after these children, to help and assist where is needed. And that drive and commitment is what makes me do what I do. So this is our video. Last year I was absolutely delighted to have been shortlisted for the awards. And I wrote an email and I asked the judges, what could we do differently this year? And you said to me, nothing. We were up against stiff competition. And this year is why we've worked even harder to show that our commitment is not just in business, but in our local community and also the wider community as well. So in a second, some of my clients have been kind enough to provide testimonials, and you'll listen to what it means to be a client from their perspective and also why they choose me. Thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy the video, and best of luck with the awards.
My name's Andy McPherson, I'm the Director of AMAT Mortgages. Just seeing how Brad acts, to be honest with you, with his clients and that professionalism he has with those clients, it just gives you confidence knowing when a client comes back to you and says, thanks for passing me on that telephone number for Brad, that was a great help, thank you very much. You know, that's what it's all about, and I'm one of these people that I don't like handing out telephone numbers for contacts unless I know they're going to do a good job for my clients, because it's my reputation as well as theirs, really, if you're going to start introducing people. Brad hasn't let me down yet. I've been self-employed for about 20 years now. Prior to that, I had a number of personal pensions that I'd paid into that had now been frozen. I did have a couple of employed pension schemes that I'd paid into as well, and they were just, I just wasn't totally sure as to where they were in value, where they were invested. So I'd spoken to Brad about it. We got together. I passed all my information over to him, and he's now coming back. He's preparing a statement for me as to where my funds are currently. We're going to meet again to discuss future plans for pensions. I don't want to be working on my life. I want to make sure that I have those provisions. So it's looking at what I've got in the past, what we need to do now, and what we need to do in the future. And having someone like Brad who knows his field, it takes the stress, takes the pressure out of that, which is not my expertise.
I had the pleasure of meeting Brad about 18 months ago. Found him to be a professional, honest, upstanding sort of chap, someone that I felt we could do business with and certainly look to partner in certain ventures moving forward in the future. The first occasion really I met Brad and had a chance to talk to him was at a launch party that he organised. Quite a number of people turned up, professionals and clients alike, and it was quite nice to see him in a sort of a different environment where he sort of dropped his guard, but he seemed to be a very popular chap and certainly someone you could talk to, so I can understand how he wins people's trust and how they would open up to him, because he's a good listener, an intelligent guy, and obviously is very professional in his field. So yeah, I find him to be a smashing chap to sort of to know. Brad has gained our trust with the clients that we've referred. The feedback we've had has been very good. Found Brad to be very easy to talk to and certainly knowledgeable, which is what the clients are looking for. They want that advice and they trust his decisions that he's taking on their behalf. Yeah, I got no hesitation with his professionalism.